There's a third facet here that Jesus teaches us that I want to bring to your attention. It is that if we are to serve well with passion, then we must complete our mission. What has Jesus called you to do? You see, all of what we read today takes place just 6 days. 6. Count. 6 days prior to the sacrificial death of Jesus. This whole event takes place just 6 days prior to the Passover. And as Jesus walks into Jerusalem that day, he knows that it is his last trip into the city for the Passover feast. In fact, the next time he comes as the Passover lamb. He is the sacrificial lamb. So time is short. The days are rushing by. It's now 6 days. Tomorrow it'll be 5, then 4. Soon the crucifixion will be upon him. Soon he'll go to the cross. There is so much to accomplish, so much prophecy to fulfill. For a split moment, he thinks, maybe I can escape this hour. Somehow I can get by without it. I don't have to take this pain upon myself. But then he knows that that's not in the realm of possibility if he wants to be true to his mission. And so he fully embraces it. He will complete his mission. It happens in the Garden of Gethsemane when he says, Father, not my will, but your will be done. At that point in time, Jesus completely surrendered the mission into the hands of the Father. So what was that mission to be? Well, Jesus' mission was the cross that stared him in the face. 6 days now he stands away from the cross. It was a certain, cruel, ugly death on a cross that he was facing. He's just days away from it. He stands there recognizing as he embraces this mission, that as he embraces it, he is going to a cruel, ugly cross. One of those ugly deaths. I mean, it's going to, you paint it as you want to paint it. You paint it with the crown of thorns if you want. You paint it with the whipping post and the stripes upon his back. You paint it as he hangs on the cross, dripping with blood. And you paint it as you want, whatever your mind can conceive, you do it. But that's what faces him. But I want you to understand, it's not just the cross that he faces, because there he was to take on the sins of the entire world. The blackest of sins he was going to take upon himself. The vilest of sins, those that were the most foul, that you can even imagine, the sins of the most wicked of offenders, sins too awful to mention, even whisper. Those sins, the ugliness of those sins, he was going to take upon himself. There, on the cross, Jesus would bear our sin. Everything we ever did that smacked God in the face, Jesus took upon himself as he hung on the cross. His mission was to go to a cross and bear all the sins of mankind. Everything you ever did to offend God, everything you ever did to place you at odds from the Father, everything you ever did to put a barrier between you and the Father, Jesus took on the cross. Isn't that awesome? Paving the way by which you and I could have a relationship with him. When our sins separate us from God, God made a way through Jesus for those sins to be bridged and for us to step across so that we might be in right standing with the Father. Why would he do that? Why would he do any of this? Well, believe me, it wasn't for fame. It wasn't because he sought a position of prominence. He wasn't looking to somehow be noticed. Because the cross was not a place of prominence, but rather a place of penalty. You understand? The cross was a place of penalty. And those who hung on the cross were deemed cursed, deserving. People would look upon those who hung on crosses and say, they deserve what they've gotten. And yet Jesus hung there as an innocent man, not because he sinned, but because he took our sins upon him. And so you and I should have been hanging on that cross, but Jesus went on our behalf on a cross so that you and I might be saved. Why would he do it? He did it because it was his mission. And he did it because of his great love for us. So I ask you, how can we not serve God when he has served us so well? How can we not serve Jesus when Jesus has done so much for us? So I want to ask you today, what would cause your heart to burn with passion? I mean, if we're to serve him, what would cause your heart to burn with passion? What is it that would help you glorify God? Is there anything God could ask that would be asking too much for you to serve him honorably when you consider he gave his all? You see, to have to come face to face with Jesus and have to admit that we failed in our God-given mission is more than I can even come to terms with. It's more than I can even bear the thought of. Because above all things in this life, we must see that God has given us a mission, and we would do well to fulfill it. We would do well to accomplish it. And part of that mission is simply spreading the gospel and good news of Jesus and his saving grace. I mean, that much is we can do. We can tell of the saving grace of Jesus. But beyond that, what is your mission? Because your mission is between you and God. And God is calling us to do stuff, but don't be fooled into believing that it doesn't have eternal significance. It does. It does for you, and it does for those you will reach and those you will touch. So serve well, and serve honorably, and serve with all the passion you can muster. Listen, don't settle for a position among the prominent when you can gain a position before the king, before royalty. Why settle for less in serving the king?